A pleasant morning to each and everyone, especially to Sir Sak. We are Green Team. I am Jenny Lulamar. I have here with me Mr. Mark Anthony Libonao and Engineer John Brian Makidam. Our group was assigned to discuss management of quality. First, we need to define what is quality management. Quality management is the act of overseeing all activities and tasks that must be accomplished to maintain a desired level of excellence. With that, we come up by choosing a company that is more than 90 years global with local heritage. Their product has 9 out of 10 Filipino homes and the #1 leading employer of choice using their tagline, Total Quality, paglilingkod namin sa inyo, it is my pride and honor to present to you Unilever Philippines Incorporated. It is the subsidiary of a British-Dutch multinational company, Unilever. It is a manufacturer of laundry detergents and soaps, shampoos, and hair conditioners, toothpaste, deodorants, skincare products, household cleaners, and toilet soaps with an annual sale of more than 47 billion pesos. With a vision statement of we will develop new ways of doing business with the aim of doubling the size of our company while reducing our environmental impact. While their mission statement is to add vitality to life, we meet everyday needs for nutrition, hygiene, and personal care with brands that help people feel good, look good, and get more out of life. These are their products. First, we have Love Beauty and Planet, Ladies' Choice, Selecta, Rexona, Dove, Breeze, Vaseline, Black and White, Knorr, Best Food, Master, Clear, Close Up, Pans, and so on. To further give us insight about management of quality of Unilever Philippines Incorporated, Engineer John Brian Makidam will discuss the strategic frame of reference of this company.
Thank you, Jen, for the introduction about the management of quality. So here we can see the strategic frame of reference, which we have this goal for 2021 to 2023. Quality, improvement of quality of products, especially in its most needed and those highest demand products such as hand hygiene and food. So our objectives: zero quality defects at each production stage, zero quality incidents, zero consumer complaints, zero foreign matter consumer complaints. So I will discuss this. So meaning zero defects is a way of thinking and doing that reinforces the notion that defects are not acceptable and that everyone should do things right the first time. Zero defects is prepared to as a philosophy, a mentality, or a movement. It's not a program, nor does it have distinct steps to follow or rules to abide by. This is perhaps why zero defects can be effective, because it means it's adaptable to any situation, business, profession, or industry. The question that often comes up when zero defects is discussed is whether or not zero defects is ever attainable. Essentially, does adopting a zero defect environment only set up for failure? Zero defects is not about being perfect. Zero defects is about changing your perspective. It does this by demanding that you recognize the high cost of quality issues, continuously think of the places where flaws may be introduced, work proactively to address the flaws in your systems and processes which allow defects to occur. Most important thing to remember is zero incident aims to completely eliminate all events that result in an injury, property, damage, or lost workday case. Okay. So zero optimum concept, it looks to a challenge assumptions, changes, and achieve zero accidents, zero breakdowns, or zero defects. Okay. So targeting zero is a mindset. However, being aware that the effort needed and the cost-benefit ratio to achieve zero is being wise. Targeting zero is a mindset. There is no room for discussion about zero. By targeting zero, we can achieve the optimum level. So here are the strategies, major initiatives to meet objectives. Number one is investigation of current conditions. Number two, restoration of the abnormal conditions. Number three is factor analysis of chronic losses. Four, reduces and eliminate all causes of chronic losses. Establishment of proper conditions for zero defects. Maintenance of proper conditions for zero defects. Consider and implement countermeasures, standardize and establish controls, and improvement of maintenance methods of conditions for zero defects. So I will explain it to you. So the following are some important steps that can be used for the foster a change in a company's safety culture towards zero incidents. So first, we should define and communicate the need for change. This step must come from top management. Management must communicative with employees and explain why the change has to occur. Most importantly, management must demonstrate how the employee will benefit from the change in the safety culture. Then number two, towards zero incidents, envision a desired result. Management must provide direction, setting goals and target objectives to achieve the vision of zero incidents. Demonstrated commitment must be evident from all levels of management. Too often, management voices its commitment. Yes, it does not know how to visibly demonstrate the commitment to employees. Number three, survey and assess the safety culture. Actively solicit employee input and in return, provide feedback to them. Look at both technical and human factors and identify the removed barrier that prevent desired performance. Evaluate environmental, organizational, and cultural influences. Number four, strategic planning. Use the data collected from the survey to define critical issues and prioritize them accordingly. Develop goals and objectives that are aligned with the overall mission statement of the corporation. Determine the barriers that exist and create a strategy to break them down. Number five is implementation. Implementation create changes in behavior using resources, focus, and consistency, action, trust, communication, demonstrated commitment. And last, evaluate. Control and measure the results, review the progress and measure results on a regular basis. Look at the continuous improvements process. Are incidents increasing or decreasing? If there is an increase, the system is out of control. Okay, so the decrease indicates that the system is improving and appears to be working. Then, success measure, key performance indicator. So these are the KPIs. So consumer complaints, foreign matters, absolute value incidents, CRQS, and shelf defects, suppliers, non-conformance. So foreign matter is defined as any kind of outside contaminant introduced to a food product at any point in its production or distribution. Problem with foreign matter may arise from equipment, design flaws, structural issues, or employee handling. Number one is glass is the most commonly reported foreign material in food that can cause consumer injury. Number two, the amount of foreign matter can affect the risk it creates for the consumer. A foreign matter can help a food processing facility control conditions that pose risk of product contamination. Application, each food facility should establish a foreign matter control program that suits its particular needs. Therefore, not all control programs will look the same. Remember, though they should have all include a few main components. One, or I should say A, use of detection devices. These devices remove or limit the amount of foreign matters in a food product, which may include magnets, sifters, filters, strainers, metal detectors, X-rays, and the stoner units. Follow-up on findings in a foreign matter is discovered in the product and should not only be removed or neutralized, but also investigated, identify the source of the contamination, and resolve the issue that caused it. Then, monitoring of trends, foreign matter, and relevant investigations, or it should be documented and reviewed periodically to look for possible trends associated with incidents. Last, education and training. This is very important to employees. So every employee should be educated on the importance of control program. Those employees who are responsible for monitoring a foreign material device should receive a proper training. This training program should occur at least once a year and should include a review each device. The procedures it is involved in, proper documentation, and what to do in case of foreign matter detection. So that is my report. So let's hear to Mr. Mark Ibanao.
In 2010, the Unilever launched the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan, or the USLP, as their strategic framework and business model, setting out to prove that quality, sustainability, and successful business performance are linked. USLP, or the Unilever Sustainable Living Plan, placed three sustainability goals at the core of the company's strategy. Number one is to help 1 billion people in improving their health. Number two is to have the environmental footprint of making and using Unilever products. And number three, to enhance the livelihood of those in its value chain. Unilever believes profitable growth should also be responsible growth. That approach lies at the heart of their business model, driven by sustainable living and the USLP. It guides their approach to how they do business and how they meet the growing consumer demand for brands that act responsibly in a world of finite resources. However, this time of the pandemic, from 2021 onwards, they started to use new strategic framework for their quality management, which is the 7 WCM tools, or the 7 world-class manufacturing tools. They use this to thrive in the current competitive and global environment. The Unilever continuously look at ways to improve efficiency, productivity, and the quality of their products. It never ceases to discover a new, easy, and cost-effective way of manufacturing or providing services. So the world-class manufacturing tools of the Unilever are anchored with these pillars: the safety and health, cost deployment, focus improvement, autonomous activities, professional maintenance, quality control, logistics, early equipment management, people development, and environment. In the 7 world-class manufacturing tools, the focus is on continuous improvement. As Unilever adopts world-class manufacturing, they use new methods of performance measurement to check their continuous improvement. Traditional performance measurement systems are not valid for the measurement of world-class manufacturing practices, as they are based on outdated traditional cost management systems, like matrix, not related to corporate strategy, and flexible, expensive, and contradict continuous improvement. For Unilever, to know the world-class quality measurement, measurement is important, because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it, and thus you can improve upon it. So these are the Unilever 7 world-class manufacturing tools. The first one is we have the prioritization. Prioritize most critical, example by using Pareto, CD matrix, ABC stratification. The second one is the systematic, logical, and detailed. Follow PDCA cycle, verify results against objective. And the number 3 is the problem description with sketches, which understands the problem through sketching. The number 4 is the 5W plus 1H with 5G principles. This is where they define the problem. And the number 5 is the root cause analysis. This is where they identify the root cause. And the number 6 is the phenomena, or the description with sketches. This is where They understand the problem description through sketching. And the number 7 and the last one is the TWTTP and HERCA. This is the way to teach people and human error root cause analysis. Let's scrutinize the 7 world-class manufacturing tools one by one in this slide. So the first one is the prioritization. So what are the important problems? So in the world-class manufacturing tools for the Unilever to manage the quality, it is important for them to have the perspective view. So when we say perspective view, while managing a site, the primary role of the factory director or the manager and leadership team of the Unilever is to have a horizontal view to identify and prioritize the issues and problems correctly. The site should have a proper data collection management system so that the leadership team can properly collect and analyze information related to safety, quality, delivery, cost, inventory, and skills, and define the right priority based on the relevance of each topic so that specialists can deep dive into the details after proper stratification or the horizontal thinking. During this deployment phase, from strategic to detailed view, items should always have clear objectives, right means, and results must be always measured against the defined objectives or targets. So the different prioritization tool for each area are the safety incident map, cost deployment, KP matrix, Pareto diagram, machine breakdown map, and ABC stratification. And the second tool for the world-class manufacturing tool used by the Unilever for the managing of quality is being systematic, logical, and detailed. This is where the identification, where the problem is. So the objective should be right means and right solutions. They follow the PDCA cycle or the plan, do, check, act cycle. And every project should be followed up against objective. It is detail-oriented and the measure should be against the objectives. Once again, the measurement that they are using are no longer the traditional measurement because for them, quality can also be measured. And the third one is the problem description with sketches. So this is where the understanding of the problem is happening. So according to Unilever, visualization is a key enabler in problem solving. According to them, a well-drawn sketch or a picture is equal to 1,000 words, and the amount of information that can be taken from a sketch is often comparable to an 8-minute speech. So therefore, according to Unilever, a world-class site is a place where there is a system which makes possible to highlight any abnormality visuality in such a way that anybody can recognize it instantaneously. So visualization is a powerful tool to describe the problem, and it improves information sharing. W plus 1H with 5 different principles. So when we say 5W plus 1H principles, it is the what, why, where, when, who, and how of the current situation. With the application of 5D principles, which means Gemba, Genbutsu, Genjitsu, Genri, and Gensuko. When we say Gemba, it is the real place. When we say Genbutsu, it is the real things. When we say Genjitsu, it is the actual facts. And the Genri and Gensuko are necessary and they are being used when the previous steps do not reveal the causes of the problem. So for them to manage the quality of the product, they use this principle. So they understand the current situation. According to Ben, facts and figures are vital and not opinions. Everything should be scientific and be governed by the facts and figures. So the 5W plus 1H with 5D principles is where the defining and understanding of the actual problem is all about. It is where they go to where the problem is happening. And the fifth one, the fifth tool for the managing of quality in respect or with regard to the world-class manufacturing tool is the root cause analysis. It is identifying the real root cause. It should be logical, analytical, and the analysis should be rigorous. According to Unilever, each of the 10 world-class manufacturing technical pillars that I have showed a while ago must demonstrate logical and rigorous root causes analysis. The reason for a safety accident, a breakdown, a quality defect, a customer service issue, a high running cost, lack of skills, etc., all of them should be investigated deeply up to the real reason. Traditionally, we tend to jump to conclusions not based on data and analysis, but on assumption and or experience. That's where we rely most of the time. And this approach never reaches the real root cause of a problem. According to Unilever, if the real root cause are not eliminated, then it is purely a matter of time till the problem pops up again. So to find the real root cause of a problem, it requires effort, technical knowledge, deep understanding of the phenomenon, and the capability to see what is behind the scene. The reward was high value according to them. When you solve the problem, often permanently and dramatically increase the knowledge and competence of the people involved in this process. And the sixth one is the phenomena description with sketches. This is what is happening behind the problem and understanding the phenomena behind the problem. It makes the problem solving process more effective and efficient, and it reduces the time to find the root cause and to solve it. You should also observe carefully what is happening behind the problems. Example, high-speed camera. So according to Unilever, the phenomena description with sketches should be detailed oriented. Because by going into detail, they can reveal and highlight the real hidden problem behind an issue. By going into detail, they can systematically crack difficult and complicated problems. By going into detail, they can clearly state phenomena and clarify the mechanism of generating problems. By analyzing data smartly, they can get maximum benefit with minimum effort. And by identifying root cause of a problem and attacking it with proper method, they can eliminate the problem so the problem will not pop up again. And the last one, the last principle or the last tool for the world-class manufacturing tools for them to manage the quality is the TWTTP and HERCA, or the way to teach people and human error root cause analysis. This is where hidden issues behind the problem is lying. According to them, humans make mistakes. It is a conventional approach, uses training to solve human error. So in a factory like Unilever, time between a failure and its proper resolution is a signal of manufacturing capability. The shorter the time, the stronger the capability in place. When the time to resolve problems is long, it means manufacturing capability is becoming weak and losses higher. In a world-class plant like the Unilever, when they see losses, they must immediately and continuously measure them and take proper countermeasure as quickly as possible. In this way, they are able to sustain and strengthen their manufacturing capability. Some examples of the importance of a real-time approach of the TWTTP and HERCA experienced by the Unilever company is when a human error takes place and the concerned operator is informed immediately, she or he will still remember and learn quickly how to avoid the error. But if she or he is informed at the end of the shift, there is an increased likelihood that she or he doesn't remember and cannot learn from the error. So automatic real-time measurement of OEE and OLE is important. And most of the packing lines in Unilever minor stoppages and top loss are not being recorded. So the ideal equipment design to prevent human error. So the question is all about what is the real reason behind the error? Are we just managing the symptoms? So once again, according to them, when there is an error, it should be addressed immediately. Because if it will not be addressed immediately, there is a chance that an error can be committed repeatedly. So these are the 7 world-class manufacturing tools used by the Unilever in managing the quality of their product. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. Please stay safe and healthy.